Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh la la. Do you like necrons? Hey, hey!
My name is Jeff.
Hello! Today I share with you my quick and simple guide on painting necrons my way. Welcome, my name is Hubert and on this channel I share with you my journey on becoming a better painter after many years without touching a brush. So, I'm finally confident enough in my method to show you exactly how I do it. Let's paint grimdark necrons in a way that for me truly shows the living metal they are made of. I've asked you guys if you are interested.
But it wasn't until Annie January stepped out from Vought's shadow and Homelander's that we saw the true extent of her power.
Vought and Homelander aren't above the law. They can't just do whatever they want.
For this, I'll use a Locust Heavy Destroyer that will reinforce my 40k army. This is a nice model to showcase what we can do on simple necrons, true metallics and glow effects. First, let's prime him black.
Nice.
I assume you have your own method for doing that. The secret here is to really take time and look for missed spots. I know it's harder with the rattle can, but it's really important. I'll be using an airbrush and a glazing medium, but don't worry, every step can be done without. I'll give you alternatives in due time. I don't really like tutorials or guides, because everybody owns different brands of paints, tools, light. So this is more about giving you a general idea, or maybe just share some inspiration video. Once dry, let's do the same thing with really bright silver. I use Vallejo chrome as usual, that I dilute with a few drops of airflow improver. If you're using a brush for this step, use a big one. Don't put too much on the details and recesses, and concentrate on where the sun would hit the model. And now, you have the choice. It's time to taint the metal. I prefer green, but you can do as you please. For this, I use contrast warp lightning from Citadel, diluted with drops of glazing medium and water. I don't care about contrast paints themselves, I just have this one and I like the color. The important factor here is for the paint to be transparent enough for our idea to work. Don't hesitate to test your choice before going full force. If you do it with a brush, make sure that this layer stays thin enough that we can still guess the metal underneath. We just want to taint it. Again, once dry, we can paint some of the details such as cables and pipes. On this model, there are only 2 pipes, so I'll use Moot green for this. Don't overdo it, because we'll cover the whole model in the next step. For this layer, I choose to use Enamel paints. Streaking Grime to cover the whole model. If you just want to use a wash, I recommend diluted Agrax Earthshade, and this time you can go heavy. Again, if you don't want to use enamels, don't destroy your details. Be sure to cover everything and play with your paints to create dirty spots, especially on big flat surfaces.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
If you use enamels, time to remove some of it with a solvent. I use white spirit, Q-tips and some sponge. I use Q-tips on big surfaces and the sponge on details and spiky stuff to avoid leaving lots of hair. Time to bring out the edges and add some contrast. I really don't enjoy edge highlighting and trimming. Do whatever you want for this step. I'll use a cheap makeup brush and go very lightly, as it feels more natural for me. As I said, this step helps with the contrast, but also with enhancing the used and battle-hardened effect on the mini. You can get creative here. You can also use a needle or any sharp tool to add some scratches if you want. For the ribcage, I fill the holes with Caliban green from Citadel. Next, I add some Moot green near the center, then a bit of white even nearer the center, and finish with a Tesseract glow everywhere. Or you can just do one Tesseract glow pass if you don't care. It's more than enough for tabletop ready. For the eyes, I do as follows. White dot and simply fill the whole cavity with Tesseract glow from Citadel. For the lens, you won't see much here, but I have a first layer of white and Tesseract glow. I then just add a white dot on one corner and a white croissant on the opposite corner. Works better on bigger lenses, I'm afraid. Time to do the glow effects on this chunker. It will be much harder and longer without an airbrush, but the scenario is quite the same. White, Moot green, and then yellow for me. With the brush, just be patient and do multiple thin layers. I'm really happy because I finally managed to get the right gradient for my glow effects after lots and lots of tries. Let me show you.
I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, Kevin James. I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
S'il vous plaît.
time to take a look at the finished Locust Heavy Destroyer. With this process, I think I'll be able to finish my Necron list while having fun. You can even apply it on smaller figures like warriors, for example. As you can see, it's just a succession of layers that help getting the same tone all over the model. For me, it just makes the model feel more real. The only downside, I'd say, is that if you mess up one layer, it's quite hard to go back. So you have to be careful. Let me know how it went for you, or maybe you can share your own process. It can always help other painters like myself. I hope you enjoyed this one, and as usual, until next time, happy painting!